Brahma Gururvishnu Gururdevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Oh. I'm very happy to be here, especially when I heard small children, little kids chanting Gita Dhyana. Sitting here, I was remembering one event, one instance. It happened some 29 years back. It was in 1990. It was in that year I reached back Kerala, and I was staying in a temple. Of course, there was an ashram in Kolathur village. In that year, in a nearby village, in connection with Janmashtami, Shri Krishna Jayanti, the organizers of that Shri Krishna Jayanti, workers of Bala Gokulam, they arranged so many competitions and many events. And as a part of that, they organized a Gita chanting competition for school students. They announced the program. They gave memos to all schools around. Around means in 3 panchayats. There are more than 20 schools altogether. And they were expecting hundreds of students. But nobody participated. No one came forward. So that event was cancelled. And in that organizers, there were 3-4 school teachers. It was a big hurt for them. Why no student came forward? Then these 4 teachers, by their own, they started going to all homes and personally they were in touch with all houses and inquired. Then they realized in those 3 panchayats, no school student knows to chant Bagavad Gita. Not even to chant. They cannot read Bhagavad Gita. This was the situation in 1990 in Kerala, in the district of Kozhikode. And one of those teachers, he decided to start a class for children. So he approached some temple authorities to give a space, and they allowed. And then he came to Kolatur Ashrama. He invited me to inaugurate that event. And his plan was to teach local children Bagavad Gita every week, one class every week. So he planned that. He got space. So he came to ashram and I went with him. When I went with him, what I saw was the gate of the temple was closed and locked. And when inquired temple authorities, not all were there. One man in charge of the temple was there, and he said, Gita cannot be taught in a temple. You cannot do that. So this teacher who invited me was in a shock and he was in a confusion what to do. Then I told him, on the side of the road there are so many grasses. We can sit there. We need not their permission to sit there and do chanting. And there I inaugurated that Gita class on the side of the road. It was in 1990. And I am sure if they conduct such a competition now, there will be hundreds and hundreds of students who will come forward. And they are coming also. That is the change which happened in India, especially in Kerala, since last decades. And that waves of change is more palpable when we travel outside of India. Whether it is in America or Australia or Gulf countries or Europe, wherever we go, we are seeing that enthusiasm in our people to teach and to learn. And the effect of that we are seeing here also. So I am very happy to see that. Little kids, they chanted very well. So with that happiness, we can enter into the subject matter for today's talk. Instead of talk, let me use the word discussion, because I don't like a one-way talk for a long time. There is no meaning at all. And not only that, here the subject fixed is 4th chapter of Gita. You can enter into 4th chapter only after perfectly mastering 3 chapters. Otherwise it will be like a chartered tour. If you are going to Badrinath and Kedarnath in a chartered tour, they will allow to walk here and there in Rishikesh, and then you will sit in their bus and they will show, yes, that is Devaprayaga, look there. When you stand up from your seat and peep outside, then the bus will be half a kilometer away from Devaprayaga. Then again they will say that is Rudraprayaga, see that. So there is no meaning in that. If you want to visit Himalaya, take ample time with you and go freely, with a free mind and intellect, you go. In the same way, to go into the depth of Bhagavad Gita, you must have enough time and a proper study. Proper means traditional. In the traditional way, we have to learn. Otherwise, it is not at all good to speak about one chapter in half an hour or 1 hour. There is no meaning at all. Still, like a chapter tour, we can see what 4th chapter is. We cannot enter into that. If we want to enter into 4th chapter, we must at least have 40 to 50 hours. 40 to 50 hours. Otherwise we cannot, because, see, Bhagavad Gita is the quintessence of a Veda, as aptly put by Bhagavan Bhashyakara in the very introduction of Bhagavad Gita Bhashya. Bhagavad Gita is Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. That is Gita. Idam Gita Shastram Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. So says Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya in the very introduction, very introductory note in that Bhashya. Samasta Vedartha. Samasta Vedartha means the whole of Veda you take. That means Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. Not only that, with all parts of Veda or limbs of Veda. Limbs are Shiksha, Kalpam, Vyakaranam, Niruttam, Chandas and Jyotisham. And parts are Samhita, Brahmanam, Aranyakam and Upanishad. The whole of Veda you take. Of course, when we speak about a text, the appendix will come along with that. So there are Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Sthavatya Veda, Gandharva Veda and Artha Veda. All these you take together and take the essence, that is Samasta Vedartha Sara. And that essence you again summarize. That is Samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha. So that is Bhagavad Gita. And in that Bhagavad Gita, first and second chapters are stepping stones to climb the ladder. Ladder, that is the study of Gita. First and second chapters are the stepping stones. And in the second chapter, we will see the whole of Gita summarized. The very gist of Gita we can learn in the second chapter from Shloka 11 to 54. In that part, the whole of Gita is summarized there. And then, thereafter, Bhagavan takes us slowly and slowly to the heart of Vedanta teaching. And in that course, he analyzes the whole of Veda by mentioning every type of yajnas explained in Veda in the third chapter. And of course, during that discussion, Bhagavan answers to the queries of Arjuna. If we are ready to do a serious study of Bhagavad Gita, we will find in the second and third chapter, the whole of Veda is summarized. And see, that was a battlefield. And Arjuna was supposed to fight. It is not a field to discuss the inscrutable principles of Veda. So what Bhagavan wants is, make this fellow fight. So Bhagavan concludes that. In the beginning of fourth chapter, we can see Bhagavan is concluding his teaching. He don't want to continue that exhortation, that teaching. So he concludes. How he is concluding? That is the beginning of fourth chapter. O Arjuna, the knowledge which I have imparted to you, this is not a new one. This is the summary of Veda. And earlier, in the ancient times, this knowledge was given to the sun god by me. He taught this to Manu, his son, and Manu handed over this knowledge to Ikshvaku. And thereafter, in succession, the lineage of teachers taught this, handed over to next generation. And this knowledge was there. It was guiding the whole humanity. But what happened in course of time? The tradition of teaching or handing over the greatest knowledge, somehow that chain was missed. And the teaching, there was no continuity in that. And that knowledge which I have taught and which came from generation to generation, that very knowledge I am now imparting to you. So I have taught you, it is completed. In such a stretch, Bhagavan is saying in the 4th chapter. We can aptly say this is a conclusion, because in the scriptures we see the lineage of teachers described either in the beginning or in the end. Nowhere in our Shastras the lineage of teachers is described in the middle of the text. It will be described in the first part or in the last part. So, we can infer this is the conclusion. Bhagavan is concluding his teachings. How? Why you are saying so? This is not the end of Gita. It is only the 4th chapter, the beginning of the 4th chapter. How you can say this is the conclusion of the whole teaching? How you can say Bhagavan is summarizing that teaching? See, only because Arjuna asked more and more, Bhagavan was pressed to answer. And when that question answer session went along, it reached up to 18th chapter. That is the text we are having today. But when we are studying carefully, we will understand in the first, second and third chapter, the whole of Veda is summarized there. And Bhagavan is concluding with this mentioning of lineage, sampradaya, the tradition, how that knowledge was handed over from generation to generation. But it was then Arjuna asked a question. He asked a question. Oh Bhagavan, you are living now. You are very contemporary to me. And we are living together. And the birth of God's Son, it happened long before. Crores and crores of years passed. Then how can you say, or how can I understand that you taught to Son? As a reply to this question, Bhagavan in detail explains the theory of incarnation. It is in this place Bhagavan explains how the Supreme God, Ishvara, takes incarnations to protect dharma. So there comes that explanation. Before looking into that, there is a very important point. We must pay attention, and that is in the Bhashya of Bhagavan Bhashyakara. What it is? See, Bhagavan says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sa kale neha mahata yogo nashta parandava. This knowledge was known to all Rajarshis, and it was handed over from one generation to another. But somehow that tradition, that link, it was missing. And the handing over of this knowledge from one generation to another, somehow it stopped. And I am retrieving that, I am giving again that to you. In that particular point, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya, he gives a beautiful explanation which we must observe and pay attention. That is, Durbalan Ajitendriyan Prapya Yogam Nashtam. Meaning is, how the tradition, it failed. How that succession of teachers ended. To this question, Bhagavan says, Durbalan Ajitendriyan Prapya. Durbalan Prapya. Ajitendriyan Prapya. Durbala means powerless. Those who do not have enough power to protect Shastra. To protect Shastra, one must have internal power. If we are lacking in that, if we are weak in all respects, not physical weakness, inner weakness. If we are not strong enough within, we will not be able to protect the Shastras. So, Durbalan Prapya, Ajitendriyan Prapya, who are just for sensual pleasures. Those who are just for sensual pleasures, they are Ajitendriya. They might have won the whole world, but they didn't win over their own senses. So when eyes prompt, look at there, then he will go behind the eyes. When ears prompt, see, there is a music coming, go there. Then both ears will go and this fellow will follow. When some smells comes, then the noses goes. Both the nostrils and this fellow will be following. And if we are behind the sensual objects and only for sensual enjoyments, we will not be able to protect Shastras because we will be carried away from the quest, from the tradition, from the studies. That is why Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, Durbalan Ajitendriyan Prapya Yogam Nashtam. This is a sentence always we must keep in mind. If we want to protect our Shastras and our Dharma, we must be strong individuals. We must have strength within. We must not be allured by symbol or mere senses and sense objects. If we are behind for that, we will not be able to protect Shastras. We will not be able to learn Shastras. There is no doubt in that. So we must become strong, and for the realization of the supreme truth, it is clearly mentioned in the Upanishads that Nayamatma balahinena labhyaha. Nayamatma balahinena labhyaha. This Atma cannot be realized by a person who do not have power within, strength within. So we must have power within, power of determination and strength to face all situations in life. Whatever situation come, we must have that power and strength to face those. Only such persons can enter into the study of Vedanta. Otherwise not. They will only be able to protect our Shastra. How Shastras are being protected? Not by putting in some almirahs and locking. No. Once I went to a home, and it was there in that home I saw largest number of books, Gita books. How many I cannot say. 3 almirahs full of Bhagavad Gita books with commentaries in English, Hindi and Gujarati. Of course, Sanskritam also. I have visited so many ashrams and I have seen so many libraries. But it was for the first time I was seeing such a number of Bhagavad Gita commentaries together in one place. Then I asked the mother of that house, "Oh mother, are you taking and reading?" "Oh Swami, I am opening these almirahs once in a year." "When?" On the day of Vijayadashami. "And what you are doing?" I will hold Arati. I will show Arati." Then I told that mother, "Oh mother, I want one. I am praying to you. I have one prayer to you." "What, Swami? Are you praying to me?" "What? No, this is a prayer." "What is that?" "Next time when you show the Arati, you take the lamp some more closer to that books. That is my prayer." That is not at all good. I know that. It is a sin. It is a sin to ask that mother to burn Gita text. That's a sin, I know. But more sin is there in keeping books without reading. There is no doubt in that. So we must learn, we must study. For that within, we must not be taken away by indriyas, senses. See, after this cautious message, Bhagavan explains the theory of incarnation. What is that? See, the dharma is holding not only the whole society but the whole universe together. Even from a minutest atom to the grossest universe comprising of innumerable stars and galaxies, everything is held together by the thread of dharma. Dharma is holding everything together. Everything. And all of us are here held together by the thread of dharma. So it is our duty to observe dharma, to protect dharma. And when we protect dharma, when we observe dharma, dharma will protect the whole of manifested beings. But see, when we analyze the working of or working pattern of dharma, we will realize there are two types of forces always existing in the phenomenal plane. There are two types of forces always existing in the phenomenal plane. And these two forces are Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. The divine qualities and the qualities of Asura. These two. There is no apt translation for Asura. You cannot say simply demonic. No. But in common English language, we will translate as demonic. Asuras as demons. No. But we can use the demonic forces. But Asura is something more than that. The term Asura is one who is always finding happiness in external objects. That is the meaning of Asura. Asushu Ramate iti Asura. One who is finding happiness in external objects. We must add a term always, a word always. So those who are always finding happiness in external objects only, they are Asuras. So there is the divine qualities and there is Asura qualities. There will be an equilibrium always. There will be a balance in between this. See, inside us, these two qualities are there. These two forces are there. No? You just observe yourself. You go deeper with it. We can find out these two are there. There is no doubt in that. Just like as in a person, in all societies and all nations and all in the world and the world's other worlds, everywhere these two forces are there. And for dharma to sustain, there must be an equilibrium. A balance must be there. But sometimes, what happens? The power of dharma, it goes down. How? When the asuric power, force, it goes high. The Daivi Sampat, the divine force or divine power or divine qualities, they will go down. It happens. Up to a limit there is no problem. But when the Daivi Sampat goes beyond a certain limit, and the rise of Asuric forces happens beyond a certain level, then what will happen? The whole system of dharma will be facing a trouble. There is no doubt in that. It happens every now and then. So, whenever the balance goes and dharma goes down, then the very substratum or the very cause of all existence. There must be a cause for all effects, and for all manifestations in this universe there must be a cause, and that final cause we are calling by the name Ishvara. So, the system will be restructured, or the balance will be brought back. For bringing back that balance, for bringing back that equilibrium, O Arjuna, I am coming again and again. So to bringing back the equilibrium of Devi Sampat and Asuri Sampat, and thereby protect Dharma, I am coming, or I am manifesting again and again in different forms. In different forms. So as a part of that, now I am here and I am teaching you. So says Bhagavan. And what is the use of knowing all these things? Then Bhagavan goes on explaining, one who knows this principle, the theory of incarnation, and for what it is, one who knows that, he will be above the transmigratory cycles, repetition of birth and death. How? Because then he knows, then he understands the theory behind, or the principle behind all manifestations, and thereby he will be freed from this. Then naturally a question comes within. What type of people will get above or go above this transmigratory cycle? Then Bhagavan says, who have equanimity within. Who have equanimity within. In the midst of all dualities, Vitaraga Bhaya Krodhaha Manmayaha. So he goes on explaining. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodhaha. In the midst of all dualities, who are able to keep the equanimity within, they will reach the highest. And how to have that equanimity? That is only through real knowledge. Real knowledge of the self. Because we are in the midst of so many manifested planes. We are in the midst of these manifestations. And what happens? Without knowing the very substratum of all manifestations, we are seeing these names and forms, this manifested plane, as the final truth. And so many false identifications with this manifested objects comes. I am this, I am this. With a gross body, with a body, mind, intellect complex, and of course with external objects also. So many identifications. This is mine, this is mine. So, when we have within so many false identifications and superimpositions with the body, mind, intellect complex, and false identifications with the external objects, then without knowing the real self, we are in this world of ignorance. That is the cause of all sorrows. That is the cause of all sorrows. So to get rid of this transmigratory cycle, all the sorrows, and to reach at the highest goal of human life. What is the highest goal of human life? You cannot say it is Swarga. You cannot say it is Vaikuntha or Kailasa. It is moksha. And what is moksha? It is getting rid of all sorrows in this life. That is moksha. And realizing the ultimate happiness in this life. That is moksha. Or getting rid of all slaveries. That is moksha. Different way we can explain. It is not something we get hereafter. Some 2-3 years back, one mother asked me, after a lecture program, it was a question answer session, and one mother stood up and asked a question, Swami, can you please explain something about Swarga, heaven? Then I gave a reply, yes, of course I can, but there are 3 conditions. First, I must die, and second, you must die, and third condition is we must meet together. Otherwise, how I don't know about Swarga? I do not know about Swarga, because I am living in this world. I am living in this world. I do not know. I know nothing about Swarga. Because Swarga is a world which you will get after your death. I am living being. And you see, those who wrote about Swarga, whether they be Hindus or whether they be Muslims or whether they be Christians, whoever he be, they also were living beings. So living in this world, they wrote about Swarga. What a fool. No, I am not such a fool to believe that things. So I replied that mother, there are 3 conditions. So moksha is something we must have after our death. No. It is transcending all sorrows in life. It is experiencing the ultimate happiness, absolute happiness, which we call bliss, ananda. For that realization, we are here. And for that, there is only one way, and that is realize the real nature of the self. What is the real nature of the self? What is our real nature? Swami, I don't know. You just think, who am I? There is no doubt our real nature is Ananda, bliss. Hey, what nonsense you are saying, Swami? You are coming and speaking some sort of nonsense here, because I am having this much sorrows, this much pain I have within. Tension, stress, this, that, so many problems I have in this life. And you are saying I am Ananda, bliss? Yes. Of course, there is no doubt our real nature is that of Ananda. How we can realize that? See, a simple question, not a complex one, a simple question I am asking. Whom do you love most in this world? We say, I love you, so many persons. But the question is a plain one, simple one. Whom do you love most? Ourselves. I love myself most. Not my wife, not my husband, not my child, not my mother, not my father. I love myself most. There is no doubt in that. Which myself? Hey, again, what a nonsense you are asking. Which myself? There is only one me. Then why you are asking which myself? Yes, such a question stays. Just imagine. Doctor advised you must pay some more attention and in your lifestyle, much change you have to make because so many ailments you have within and diabetes is going up. So take care, be careful. Doctor advised so. But the fellow paid no attention at all. And after some months, for the namesake, a small cut was there in his leg and it came up and up. Now it came above his knees and it was reddish in color and some black color also. He cannot bear the pain and he went to the doctor. Then doctor said, "Oh man, you are too late now. There is only one way to save you. That is, I have to amputate your leg. There is no other way than amputation." "Oh, cutting my legs? No, I am not ready for that. I cannot." "If so, you can die. There is no other way. You die." "No, doctor, please save me. I don't want to die. Please save me." Then there is only one way. That is amputation. In that case, what we will do? We will say, "Yes, doctor," with much grave within. "Yes, doctor, you can. I am ready." Take another example. Doctor says, "You are too late, man. Now what I will do? I cannot find a way out. But still there is a medicine. I can try that. If you take that medicine, you will be all right. Then give that medicine, doctor. But there is a problem." "What is that?" "If you take that medicine, you will become fully blind. 100% of your eyesight will go." No, I am not ready for that. "No, I am not ready." "In that case, you can die. There is no other way." "Dying? No, doctor, please save me. I don't want to die." Then there is only one way. Take this medicine and become blind. What we will say in that case? "Yes, doctor, please give." How many persons are there in the world? Without eyesight, they are living happily. They are working all, everything they are doing. So please, take the third example. Doctor says, "Oh man, what I will do? You are too late." "Even then I will try. There is a medicine, a special medicine I have with me. I will give that. You will be all right." "Then give that." "There is a problem. If you take that medicine, you will become mad. You will become mad." "No, doctor, I don't want to be mad." "In that case, you can die. Get ready to die." No, I don't want to die. Please save me." Then you can take this medicine and be a madman. If such a situation comes in our life, what will be our position? We will say, "Yes, I will take." How many mad men are here in the world? They are happy, you see. All the time their mood will be changing, but always they are happy with it. So we will find out some way to teach ourselves, to make ourselves ready. What these examples shows? more than karmendriyas, organs of action. That is the first example. More than jnanendriyas, senses of knowledge, and more than antakarana, mind and intellect. We love ourselves. There is no doubt in that. And to protect ourselves, to keep ourselves, to save ourselves, we are ready to get rid of all organs, all parts of body and all. So we love ourselves more than our body. We love ourselves more than our mind and intellect. And therefore, there is no doubt our real nature is that of bliss. Because we know, everybody know, what gives us happiness, that we love. We love that what gives us happiness. And we are loving ourselves most. So we are of the nature of bliss. Then comes a question, then why we are not realizing that? Why we are not realizing? Take an example. A father or a mother goes to a school, classroom of their child. And in that classroom, there were 30 students. When the father or mother reached the classroom, then all the students were chanting some poem together. They were chanting together. In one voice they were chanting. Question is that father or mother hearing the voice of the child, his child or her child? What is the answer? Yes, they are hearing. Then comes the next question, will they recognize that voice? No. Because within that voice, the collective voice of 30 students, there is the voice of their son or daughter. But they cannot identify, they cannot recognize, they cannot differentiate. Why? The all 30 voices are there together. So they cannot differentiate. They are hearing. Of course they are hearing. You cannot say they are not hearing the voice of their son or daughter. They are hearing, but they are not differentiating. Same is the case with us. We are experiencing the bliss always. But there is a mixture. And the mixture is identification with the body, identification with mind, identification with indriyas, identification with the pranas, identification with this, that, so many instruments. And not only that, identification with external objects also. My wife, my husband, my dress, my watch, my phone, my this, my that, so many. So when all these are together, of course we are having or we are getting the bliss within, but we are not differentiating. So what is the way out? Bhagavan says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. We are skipping so many parts of 4th chapter. Because the first condition is like a charter tour we are going. So when we reach some important places, the operator will be sitting like this with a closed eye. Otherwise, what we will do? Because to explain a verse in the 4th chapter, karmanya akarmaya pashyed akarmani cha karmaya, we require at least 6 hours. And in the 4th chapter, you will find the whole of Vedanta teachings there in the 4th chapter. So without explaining, we cannot take that. That is not good. So we are reaching at this point wherein Bhagavan clearly says to realize this, to differentiate the self from other objects, there is only one way. And that is tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Tad vidhi, you know that. Vidhi means you know. Tad, that. That you know, that you realize. How? Pranipatena, by prostrating. Pariprasnena, asking repeatedly. Sevaya, serving. You approach gurus, men of realization. Men of realization, you approach and do proper seva. Submit before them. Submit to your ego. Submit to your body, mind, intellect, complex. Everything. So that is pranipata. And repeatedly ask them. Show your eagerness to know. That yearning, that quest you have within, show before them. This is the only way to have real knowledge. So this is the tradition. Approach gurus. There is no other way. Nowadays, Google is the greatest guru. But in this field, it cannot. Informations it will give. But teaching must come from heart, not from brain. It must come from heart. It will come out, or it will come spontaneously only from men of realization. So approach a guru and submit yourself before him. Prostration you do, seva you do, and pariprasna means ask repeatedly. Why repeatedly? To show your yearning, a real quest. I have no other way. If I know some other ways are there, you are not supposed to go to a guru. If a man is happy in the world, just imagine, happiest fellow in this world. I do not know whether there is such a man in this world. I don't know. But if such a person is there, don't go to him and ask, you go and learn some Bagavad Gita or Vedanta. No, Vedanta is not needed for him because he is still happy even now. Then why should he go and learn? One who is satisfied in this world with the sensual enjoyments, don't ask them to learn Vedanta. For men who have real thirst within, real hunger within for knowledge, let them go to a guru. And through proper traditional submission, let them show that space they have within. Patratva. Patratva means space within. Space for what? Space for getting advice. There must be a space within. Just to show that and to make it bigger and bigger. All these three sadhanas are exalted there. Pariprasna, seva and pranipata. Then the knowers of truth, those realized teachers, they will teach you. There is no doubt in that. Upadekshanti te jnanam, they will teach you. Who? Jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Jnaninaha means scholars. But being a mere scholar will not do. A scholar is a moving library. Just like all other sciences, all other branches of knowledge, he have learned Upanishads also. No, he must be a tattvadarshi, man of realization. From him, the spontaneous flow of knowledge will be there. So approach such gurus and you try to know. Thereby, you can fulfill your thirst. You can reach the goals. Then comes a question. Without that real eagerness to know, you can prostrate before a person. Before that real thirst for knowledge, you can do seva. Outwardly we can do seva. And of course, without that real yearning to know, we can ask questions. Then these three sadhanas exhorted here, are they real sadhanas? Or is there some real sadhana? Yes, there is something more to add. And that is Shraddhavan labhade jnanam tatpara samyatendriyaha. Shraddhavan labhade jnanam. He only gets knowledge. He only gets knowledge who have real Shraddha within. Shraddha is faith. Shraddha is determination. Shraddha is submission. Shraddha is everything. That Shraddha we must have within. He alone will realize who have real Shraddha within. So we must approach Guru with real Shraddha. That we must have within. Some persons will have Shraddha, they will be full of Shraddha, but there is a problem. What is that? Guru is a great man. He is a man of realization, so I have Shraddha. But I cannot practice as he teaches. He is a great man, that is why he could. But I am a common man, I cannot. Such a feeling may be there. So, Bhagavan says, along with Shraddha, there must be tatparata. Tatparata is that real readiness to practice. Along with real yearning to know, there must be real readiness to practice. Practice as taught by Guru. Some person will have that also. Still they have some other problems. What is that? Their senses are going here and there, wandering to so many objects. Guru asks to sit at a place and do japa. He will sit at a place, there is no doubt, but his mind will be wandering here and there. The whole world, it will be wandering. So, samyatendriyaha. That is the third thing. He must be a man of controlled indriyas. He must control his indriyas. For that, we must have yoga practices. We must do japa. We must do pranayama. We must do tantra sadhanas. We must do temple worship. So many practices are there. For what? For making our own senses and mind controlled. To bring them under control and make the mind pure and pointed. We want all these basic sadhanas. So with the help of basic sadhanas, temple worship, japas, pranayamas, mantropasana, tantropasana and all types of worship, we are making ourselves fit for the deeper inquiries. And if we are ready, then we will get that real knowledge from Guru. So says Bhagavan in the 4th chapter. And there are so many other subjects, so many. For example, what is the real nature of a saint? And what is the quality of the greatest novel? All these things are explained in the 4th chapter. We have to study systematically from sloka 1 to 2, then to 3rd, then to 4th, like that. In a systematic way we have to learn. That is not possible in a short speech. But at least we can understand these much subjects are there extolled in the 4th chapter. And we must read, we must learn, and that learning must take us to a traditional inquiry into the subject matter. Then we will be moving through Gita, not like the chartered tour, but as a real inquirer. For that, we must have that thirst within. Keep that within our own mind, and daily we must learn at least one shloka a day. Swami, I don't know Samskrita. Gita is the text that is having commentaries in almost all languages. And so many traditional commentaries, teachings are there in English also. So take such commentaries and daily, as a practice, as a tapasya, we must learn one shloka a day. And ruminate what we got from that study. So, through a proper study of Gita, we will be equipped with that knowledge, that power, which will help us to face all situations in the life, and along with that, we will have a clear vision about our life, that is regarding the goal and the path. If you know this both, what is the goal and what is the path, then our life will become successful and fruitful. And for a successful life, Gita is showing us the real way. With these words, let me conclude. If anything is to be asked, you can ask. I do not know. Now time is approaching 9 o'clock. But still, if you want to ask anything, without any hesitation, you can ask. More than a one-way talk, that is better. And if you write in a paper, it will be better. And otherwise also you can ask.